Next onwards, you will get the every idea about the everything about the AWS cloud, because some of the services has come from the AWS. Those services we can, apply it for the deployment part of the application. Like Kubernetes is one of the services, which is also we can give the, give it from the AWS services. EKS is one of the Kubernetes services. Also, we have the container service, which is nothing but the Dockerized. Also, which is, we can give it from the AWS cloud. Later, we have the EMR also. Later, we have the Snowflake also. Later, we have the Kinesis also. SonarQube, Swagger, everything we are trying to give it from the AWS cloud. So we will also, after this 1 month, you will get the better idea about the AWS infrastructure part, AWS services. Also, we are trying to cover some of the major services like S3, EBS. Also, we are trying to cover it here, the CloudWatch and SNS also, because those are also like important services. Okay. So I hope yesterday you guys attended this workshop and you will get the more idea about the Jenkins and Tomcat. We'll start it from there first. We'll discuss first of all what we discussed in the yesterday session, and then we can start our today's session. Okay. So I guess yesterday we started let me share my screen first. Yeah, I hope everyone is visible to my screen, right? Okay. So yesterday we started with here, like we required here the GitHub account, right? Everyone have the GitHub account. Otherwise, you can create the GitHub also, right? Then we have the Maven application. I already have the Maven application. I'll share with you. This application is stored in my GitHub account, so you can use my GitHub account for this deployment part, because we try to integrate this GitHub application or Maven application to the Jenkins server, right? And later we can try to continue with this integration, right? So GitHub Maven application is going to integrate with our Jenkins, and later Jenkins is going to integrate, directly deploy it on the Tomcat server. So yesterday we discussed how Jenkins is going to start it, how Jenkins is, how we can set up the Jenkins account, right? Let's discuss first of all what we discussed in the last session. So Jenkins is open source platform, free of cost. There is nothing to do any kind of payment for this Jenkins, guys, which is developed by using the Java language. Every time whenever we're trying to install the Jenkins on any virtual machine, right? So at this moment we try to install the Java first. So you can use the Java 11, Java 17, above Java 8 you can use any Java, right? Then Jenkins is called as a CI/CD platform that we discuss, and that we like figure out what exactly the CI, right? It's nothing but the continuous integration, because whenever developer is going to try to push the code from here, this code is automatically integrate with our Jenkins server, right? It means latest code is from Maven, GitHub to Jenkins is already integrated. We are trying to like connect this pipeline, right? Later, whatever developer is going to push the code, this code automatically integrate with our Jenkins, and you will get the build, right? Build, it means whenever you are trying to run this code, you will get the jar or var file of your application, because Tomcat is only deployed on this Tomcat. We can deploy only the var or jar file. We cannot deploy directly this Maven application to the Tomcat server. So that's why Jenkins comes into the picture, right? So Jenkins is nothing but the continuous integration and continuous delivery. CI/CD is one of the approach to automatic project build and deployment process, right? We cannot do any manual work for here, right? Because there are lots of developers in our team, right? Everyone is trying to push his code, right? We have the task. Accordingly, developer is going to develop the code and push the code to the GitHub repository, right? But that repository code needs to be built in the Jenkins server. It means that repository code also, latest code also invoke in the Jenkins server. Later, Jenkins can try to build this code. Once GitHub is push this code to the Jenkins is automatically try to build this code, right? Because for the Jenkins, we have the Maven, right? In the Jenkins server, we try to integrate this GitHub also. After we try to integrate the Maven also, right? So that is the thing. After our Jenkins, after our like Maven application is going to build, and you will get the latest jar or var file, and this var file we can try to deployed on the deployed on the Tomcat server, which is rest on the AWS cloud again, right? Both Jenkins server and Tomcat server, which is invoked by using the AWS cloud, and AWS cloud have one service that is nothing but the EC2 virtual machine. Yesterday we tried to create one Jenkins server by using the EC2 virtual machine, which is Ubuntu operating system. We created one Ubuntu operating system, and on this Ubuntu operating system, we already installed Java application and we already installed the Jenkins application, right? And also for this, Tomcat server, we created one EC2 virtual machine for this Tomcat server, and we invoked one Linux operating system on it, and later we install the Tomcat server on this Linux operating system, guys, right? So the result is our Jenkins in Tomcat comes into the picture right now, right? This is our Tomcat server. This is official Tomcat server, and this is the public IP for this Tomcat server, guys. And this is our Jenkins server, right? So this server or this IP can easily accessible for the everyone, right? Everyone can access this application, right? Whenever I am going to try to deploy my code on this Jenkins to the Tomcat, then also you can get one public IP. According to this public IP, everyone can access this application. Everyone can able to see our Maven application on the server, guys, right? And that is the magic, right? So let's try here. We already started our Jenkins server and Tomcat Linux server. I guess Jenkins Ubuntu and Tomcat Linux we started created, right? So Jenkins is started right now with the help of 8080 port number, right? Let me copy this and paste here. This is our public IP for this Jenkins server, guys. And this is our public IP for Tomcat server. Public IP, it means www.google.com, www.amazon.com, right? This public IP is later changed to one of the DNS name, right, which is nothing but the domain name system, right? This google.com is also in the background. There is one public IP. IPv4 is available for this google.com, right? Later we can convert this public IP into one of the any name of our server, right? We can replace this one Jenkins.com. We can replace this one Tomcat.com, right? So this is nothing but our Jenkins, and this is nothing but our Tomcat server, guys, right? So let's try. Let's figure out what we discuss here. Jenkins, which is nothing but the CI/CD, right? CI/CD is one of the approach to automatic build and deployment process. Using Jenkins, we can deploy any type of application like Java, Python, .NET, React, Angular. But whenever we try to deploy Python application, also at that moment we need to install the Java first, because Jenkins which is developed by using the Java language, right? Later we discuss here what exactly the build and deployment process, that we need to take the latest code from the GitHub repository. This is our first step, right? But some of the steps are here like pending from us, because Apache Tomcat is right now available, but inside of this manager app, our application is going to install. Application is going to deploy, but manager application we don't have any access right now, guys. 403 access denied, right? We need to follow some steps. Already I have added some steps in our Word file. So accordingly, you can follow those steps and we can try to access this page as well. So what is this page? Manager, right? Manager application. Instead of this manager application, our application is going to deploy, and you want to see this application. Later you can click on this application and you can easily access this application, right? So we need to complete this work first, and later we can start our CI part. It means continuation integration part, right? So I'm going to open this Tomcat Apache Tomcat server application nodes, right? Here, what exactly we discussed yesterday. Apache Tomcat is one of the web server, right? We can deploy our web application on this Apache Tomcat server. Any web application, like Amazon is web application, right? Then Myntra is web application, right? Then what we can say that Railway application is also web application, right? Those are the web application, right? We can deploy web application on the Tomcat server, right? Tomcat server is one of the web server, Apache Tomcat, which is used to run the Java web application, right? Then Apache Tomcat server is also free of cost server, and default port number for the Apache Tomcat server is a 8080, right? Similar like a Jenkins. But here what will happen, guys? Whenever we try to access the Jenkins, the port number is the same, right? And whenever we access the Tomcat server, here also port number is a change, right? So in between those servers, we need to like change one of the port number from this server, right? Otherwise, either we can change this Tomcat port number, either we can change the Jenkins port number. Okay, we'll discuss about it later. So Apache Tomcat folder structures are available that we discussed yesterday. Let me access this first from the mobile extreme. Yesterday we tried to access those two server by using the mobile extreme. Let me try it right now again. Go to the AWS cloud. This is our Jenkins Ubuntu. Just click on this instant ID. Then you can easily access, easily available this public IP. You can copy this public IP and go to the mobile extreme. Yes. Click on session, SSH, remote host is our public IP. Specify username. What is the username for this Jenkins, guys? What is the username for this Ubuntu virtual machine? We already discussed what is the specific username for this Ubuntu machine, guys. Yes, guys. What is the default username for this Ubuntu? Is Ubuntu, right? And for this Linux is ec2-user, right? Once you specify here the username, port is the same, right? Default port number is a 22 for this SSH, right? So every time you can keep this port number as a 22. Don't change it, right? Just click on the advanced SSH, use private key, and go to the downloaded private key. Yesterday we downloaded one private key. Just click on this ubuntu.pem. Open it. Just click on OK, right? So this is our Jenkins server, right? Let me rename it. So accordingly you can access. This is our Jenkins. Okay. Let me copy. Let me access the Tomcat machine as well. I guess Tomcat. Yes, Tomcat is here. Just click on this instant ID. Copy this public IP. Go there. Click on session SSH. Remote host is our public IP. Specify username. So our Tomcat server is rest on the Linux virtual machine, and our Jenkins server is rest on the Ubuntu virtual machine, right? And our GitHub application is rest on the Windows operating system, right? Ubuntu, for this Ubuntu, our default username is Ubuntu. For this Tomcat, Linux, our default username is a ec2-user. So specify here ec2-user, right? Just click on advanced SSH, use private key, check this checkbox, go to the downloaded, and this is our tomcat.pem. This is our security key. Okay, just keep remember about it, because AWS, every services are the secure from this AWS cloud. So every time whenever you try to access this virtual machine, Tomcat virtual machine, every time you need to keep this security key, otherwise you won't able to access this virtual machine, guys, right? And this is our Tomcat server. Rename it as a Tomcat only, right? Okay. Now let's discuss about the Tomcat first, because we need to modify something for this Tomcat, guys, because we cannot able to access this manager application, and this is very important, because our application, whenever Jenkins is try to build the code and you will get the var file, this var file is going to deploy on this manager app, and for this manager app we don't have any access, right? So for getting this access, we have some steps. Already I have added those steps in our Apache Tomcat application, Word file, right? So let's discuss about the folder structure. Bin is nothing but it contains the command files to start and stop the server. I'll show you bin folder first. Here you can just write the ls-l. You will get the under this ec2-user what exactly is there, right? So what is this, guys? So there we have the Apache Tomcat folder, and there we have the Apache Tomcat tar folder, right? Yesterday we downloaded this tar and we already tried tar to untar, and this is our untar folder, right? This is our usable folder. So if you want to try to inside of this Apache Tomcat folder, then just write here the cd. Cd, it means current directory, to jump into the Apache Tomcat directory, right? Just click on enter. Now you can again write the ls-l inside of the Apache Tomcat folder. What exactly the folder structure? We can check here. Here we have the bin folder, conf folder, leaf folder, logs, temp, web apps. So what is the mean of that folders? Everything is written here. Everything is mentioned here, guys. Bin is nothing but we can start and stop the server, right? So go to the bin folder first and we can check what are the commands are available there, right? So don't keep mind those every commands. We required only one to two commands, guys. Startup.sh and shutdown.sh, right? If you want to start our Tomcat server, then you can use this startup.sh. If you want to shut down our Tomcat server, then you can use the shutdown.sh, guys, right? Let's try to shut down it first. Shutdown.sh. Just click on enter, right? Now try to refresh it, right? Your application, your Tomcat server is going to shutting down, right? Let's try to start up this one, right? Tomcat server has been started. Let me refresh it. Yeah, it will take some time. Port number is 8080, right? Our Tomcat server has been started. So this is the command which is present in the inside of the bin folder. This is the interview question. Interviewers every time going to ask how we can start our Tomcat server on the Linux operating system. So you can like tell them like we have the bin folder. Inside the bin folder we have the startup.sh and shutdown.sh. Those are the files, okay? sh is shell scripting, startup.sh is shell scripting file, shutdown.sh is shell scripting file. Inside of this file we have the logic is available to start our Tomcat server, right? Our Tomcat server is already started. Later, second one is a conf command. It contains the configuration file which are required for our Tomcat server, guys, right? Then we have the lib command, right? Let me backspace it. Suppose I want to go to the back. Go to the back to again Apache Tomcat folder, right? From the bin, I want to collect. Back to my original folder. So just click, just write here cd space ... Just click on enter. You will get your original folder, Apache Tomcat, right? 9.0109. This is our version. Again, you can write here the ls-l. You will get the folder structure. Then is used for this up and down for this Tomcat server. Conf is used for it contain the configuration file. Lib, it contain the libraries which are required for our Tomcat server. It means every Java application it going to convert into the jar file, right? So like that, Apache Tomcat, it contains the libraries, right? And those libraries are present inside of the jar file, guys. I'm not going to show you everything for this conf and lib because we required only this, then temp, web apps, right? Then logs, it contain the server log. Suppose you will get any failure whenever you are going to start your application or you are going to start our Tomcat server. If you get any kind of like failure or exception, you can check the logs folder, right? Then temporary files will be created here. We can delete them as well, right? Whenever you are going to start our Apache Tomcat server, automatically temporary folder contain the temporary files. Whenever you can delete those folder and restart our Apache Tomcat folder, again those file is going to create it, right? So we cannot delete this file permanently. Every time, every running application, every running our server, every time whenever we try to run our server, then those temporary file will be created here. Then last one is web apps. This is called as a deployment folder, guys. And instead of this web apps, our application is going to deployed, right? So when you can click on this manager app, instead of the manager app, we have the web apps. So that's why we require to access this manager app, guys, right? So how we can access this manager app? It contains the access denied, right? Whenever you try to click on this application, manager app, then you will get the access denied, right? Now I want to give the access for this manager app. Then how we can do it? So for that, we have some commands are available. So already we set up this Tomcat virtual machine. If anyone can miss this yesterday's session, then you can start this steps. You can follow some steps and you can start your create your Tomcat server, guys, right? So for that we required here the administrator access, guys. By default, our host manager is only accessible from the browser, right, which is running on the same machine as the Tomcat. If you wish to modify the restriction, we will need to edit the host manager context.xml file, which is present in manager or web apps. Under the manager, we have the metadata and there we have the context.xml. Okay, so first of all, you need to follow this path. Let's follow this path. What is this path, guys? Tomcat folder. Where is the Tomcat folder? Here is the Tomcat folder, right? So this is our Tomcat folder. Inside of the Tomcat folder, we need to jump into the web apps. So where is the web apps, guys? This is our web apps. How we can go inside of the web apps? With the help of a cd command. Cd web apps, right? Just click on enter. Sorry, guys. Now our path is triggered to the web apps. Under this Apache Tomcat server, we are inside of this web apps. Instead of, we are trying to enter into the manager. Let me see manager folder is available or not. ls-l. Just click on enter. We have the manager. Enter into the, go inside of the manager, guys. Just click on enter. We are inside of the manager. Again, we have the metadata -inf. It should be there. ls-l. Enter. We have the metadata -inf, right? Again, cd metadata, meta-inf. Click on enter, right? Inside of it, we have the context.xml file. Let's check ls-l. Yes, this is our context.xml. Otherwise, you can just write the ls only. Context.xml is available here, right? So how we can access this file? For this folder, every folder, if you want to enter into the every folder, we can add the command as a cd. It means current directory. So if you want to enter into the file, because the path for this context is XML. So XML is our file, right? If you want to enter into this context.xml, then every time you can add the command as a vi. Vi is nothing but the visual editor. Everyone, please try to understand it. Okay, so VI is visual editor. If you want to enter into this context.xml file, then just add the VI, then context.xml, just click on enter. And this is our context.xml. So what we need to change here, guys, that already mentioned here. In manager context.xml file, change wall section like below. What we changed? Wall section. Where is the wall section? Here is the wall section, right? Inside of the wall section, we need to keep the allow dot star. Let me check where is the wall section. Yes, here is the wall section, right? What is the change for this wall section and this wall section, guys? Class name is the same, right? Class name is the same. Then for this allow, we have something is there. Allow 127, then /d plus, right? So this is available here. So we need to change it to the dot and star. So what exactly, why we are going to try to change it? Because every public IP, this file is going to accessible. I mean, my public IP is, what is my public IP, guys, for this Tomcat? My public IP is 3.110.169.122, right? But this application or this context file is allow only for this 127, right? So that's why I need to remove this one, and I want to save it, say to this context file every public IP, whatever the public IP is available for us. So every public IP, please allow to enter into this manager app. So for that we require to remove this one, and we need to add there only dot and star. It means allow for every public IP or allow for all public IP. For that we just add there the dot and star. Are you guys clear about this one? Everyone? Yes? No? Yes, Pritesh, Amol, Venkatesh, Vikas. Yes, guys. Okay. So guys, this is our case sensitive file. How we can edit this file, right? So for that, just click on I. Automatically this file is going to insert it. I mean, this file is going to convert into the edit mode. Now we can try to edit. But mouse is not working here. According to the keyboard, with the help of keyboard, we can change the content here, guys. Just go there and remove this part. Add dot and star only, right? So we have edited successfully this file, guys. Now I want to jump into inside of the insert mode. Just click on escape, right? Now you cannot edit anything. If you want to click on the I, then only you can try to edit this file, right? If you the letter, just click on the escape, right corner, left corner, one button is available, ESC. So you can just click on there. You cannot update any single word also. Okay. Now I want to save this file. How we can save this file, guys? Just click on colon. Here command is showing. Just focus on here. Colon WQ and just click on enter. Our changes is updated into the context.xml file. If you want to check, then you can also again try to edit this file. Yes, our changes is reflected here, dot and star. Now let's go outside, colon WQ, click on enter. Right, this is the way to edit any XML file on the Linux operating system, guys. For that you require to learn some Linux command, but it doesn't matter. You can check here what are the commands I'm going to try on this, because those commands only we can try it in the organization also, any organization, because our work is only this, right? Our work is to try to edit our context file, enter into the directory. So for that we require CD. If you want to try to access the XML file, then just click on the VI space context.xml, right? So those are the simple commands. Just keep remember about this command, guys. Later, what next change, guys? Add Tomcat user in Tomcat folder. This is our first change, right? Which is done from our side, right? Then second one is add Tomcat users in Tomcat folder conf tomcat user.xml. Go to the Tomcat folder first. Let me back. Yeah, again I am in the Apache Tomcat folder. Inside of this, conf folder is available. Just click on ls. There we have the conf folder is available. Enter into the conf folder. This is our folder. So every time we need to add the CD. CD, it means current directory, to jump into the conf directory. Click on enter. Inside of this conf folder, we have the tomcat-users.xml file is available, right? ls. There we have the Tomcat users XML file is available, right? If you want to enter into that file, then just press here vi, then tomcat-users.xml, right? Click on enter. So what we need to change here, guys, we need to add those part, right? Add Tomcat user. We need to add those users, guys. Role name is manager GUI script, admin script, right? like just copy this content and go here. Let me go to the last one. Okay. So from here, just click on I. So your file is in the edit mode. Click on enter and here you can paste this content. Right. So role name is a manager GUI. Again, second role name is a manager script. Third role is a admin GUI. Those role I want to access it from the Tomcat server. For that we required here some credentials. The first credentials is username is a Tomcat. The Tomcat is username and Tomcat is a password, right? And for this username or for those credentials, you can access only the manager GUI. Manager GUI means manager graphical user interface, right? It means whenever you can enter into this, whenever you can click on this manager app, you need to add those credentials, Tomcat as a username, Tomcat as a password. Then you can easily access this folder, guys, manager application, right? So second one is admin is also username, and for this admin we already allow every access. Admin is admin, right? Tomcat is one like a simple username. Admin is who have the full access of our application or full access of our server, right? So that's why for this admin we have added every access. Manager GUI, admin have the access for this manager GUI. Admin for this access as well, admin GUI and manager script, right? So admin have the full access. The credentials for this full access is admin is a username and admin is a password, right? Let me remove this gap, guys. Okay. So I guess that we want to change here, right? Yes. Then later we can stop the Tomcat server and start it again, right? Let me save it. How we can save it, guys? First of all, just remove this insert mode. For that, we just click on this escape, and later for this saving this XML file, click on :WQ, click on enter, right? If you want to check, then you can check here. Our changes is reflected here, right? Again, :WQ, click on enter, right? Later, stop the Tomcat server and start it. How we can stop and start, guys? Which folder is available for this stop and start our Tomcat server, guys? Yes, Pritesh. Anyone can remember about the folder name? Yes, guys. Mol, Venkatesh, Vikas. Right. Bin folder is available, right? According to the bin folder, we can stop and start our Tomcat server. Go to the back. Here, we can enter the ls-l. There is one bin folder, cd bin ls, and we have the shutdown.sh, right? ./shuttingdown.sh. Click on enter. Our Tomcat server is shut down successfully. Let me check. Just click on refresh it. Right? Our Tomcat server is not accessible right now because we shutting down the Tomcat server. Now let me start it again. ./startup.sh. Click on enter. Right? Tomcat server has been started. Okay, let me copy once again. Right? Now let me enter into the manager app. Now you can have this window, guys, sign in option. We have two credentials. First one is a Tomcat as a username. Second one is a Tomcat as a password, right? And this is the credentials, first credentials. Second one is a admin, right? If you want to the full access, then you can add the credentials as a admin, as a username, and admin as a password. Just click on sign in and you can accessible this application, guys. And this is our web apps folder. because web apps, inside of the web apps folder, our application is going to deployed, guys, right? We successfully enter into the Tomcat web apps folder, guys, because whenever you integrate our application to the Jenkins, and whenever Jenkins is going to deliver our application, this application is enter into that web apps folder. So that's why we require to access this web apps folder, guys, right? Are you guys clear about this point, everyone? Mm-hmm. Till here, everyone is clear, right? Okay. Okay. Now, there is one more issue is here. Like our Jenkins is started on the 8080 port number, and our Tomcat is also started on the 8080 port number, right? Whenever you try to run our Spring Boot application, right? You just run our Spring Boot application, and the default port number for this Spring Boot application is also 8080, right? And if you try to again run this Spring Boot application, then you will get the notification your port number already in use, and that kind of issue you can face in the future whenever you try to access our whole application after deployment, right? So that's why we need to change this port number, right? Change this port number to the 8081 or 8082. Anyone you can keep there, but this port number should not be duplicated. Like Jenkins is 8080 and Tomcat is 8080. This is not allowed here whenever you try to deploy our application, right? So that's why we need to change the port number for the Jenkins or port number for this Tomcat. So if we have this Tomcat already up, so you can change the port number from the Tomcat only. Okay, go back. Here we have the folder. Sorry, ls-l. Sorry. There we have the configuration folder, right? Just enter into the configuration. Go to the configuration, cdconf ls-l. There we have server.xml file is available, right? So this is our file. Add vi command, server.xml, click on enter. You can check here the port number as a 8080 already configured here. Just change this port number, replace this port number to the different port number. Here, check connector port number is a 8080, right? Press I, it means our file is going to edit mode. Then you can replace this 8080 to 8081, right? Then click on escape and save this file, :wq. You can check once again our changes is reflected successfully, right? 8081 is our port number for this Tomcat server, right? Now you can try, refresh it. 8080 is available here, right? But our application should shut down here. Let me check once again. Oh, let me restart this. Sorry guys. Every changes you need to restart our application. cd bin, then shutdown.sh. Right? Now you cannot access our application with the help of 8080 port. Let me start it. Startup.sh, click on enter. You can try to access this application by using the 8080 port number. You will get the error, right? Why? Because we changed the port number to the 8081. But whenever we try to change this port number, in AWS cloud also you can mention this port number, right? Because this Tomcat server is invoked from the AWS infrastructure. So you need to notify to the AWS cloud here our Tomcat server should be started from, now onwards our Tomcat server should started on the 8081, right? So here we have the security folder is available, or security application is available, and here you can change the port number 8081. 8081 is available, yes. 8081 already configured here, right? So it contains the 8080 and 8081. If it is not there 8081 in the security group, then you cannot access our application to the, cannot access your, what we can say that, Tomcat server with the help of 8081, guys. Now you can try with the 8081, click on enter, right? You can easily access our application server, Tomcat server with the help of 8081. Click on manager app, We have the credentials like admin and admin, right? So this is our Tomcat server, guys, right? So we successfully enter into the Tomcat server. We already have the Jenkins as well, right? Now let's try to integrate GitHub application to the Jenkins server and Jenkins to the Tomcat. So I have this GitHub account. There we already have the Maven application. I'll give you this link. Accordingly, you can try to deploy this application on the AWS cloud. Jenkins and Jenkins to the Tomcat, right? I'll let you know how we can deploy this application. We already have this application, guys. Maven application. I had created already. It will take some time, so that's why I already created this application. You can copy this code and you can integrate this code into the Jenkins server, guys. Right now, let's go to the Jenkins nodes, guys. Okay. So what is this first step, guys? We need to take the latest code from the GitHub repository, right? Later we need to build the source code, right? Later we can perform the code review. Later we can upload the project artifact into the Nexus, and later we can deploy the code into the server, right? Now, let's check how we can integrate our GitHub application to the Jenkins server, guys. First of all, Tomcat server setup in a Linux virtual machine. We already set up. Install deploy to container plugin in a Jenkins, guys, right? So this is our second step. Go to the Jenkins file and search this plugin, guys. So where we can search this plugin? First of all, go to the Jenkins, right? Here, let me check. There is one option is available, plugin. Yes, plugins option is available. Go inside of this settings tab, go to the plugins, right? Just click on available plugin. Those plugins are available right now, right? And here you can search deploy to container plugin, because I want to deploy my application on the Tomcat server as well, right? For that we require here the deploy to container plugin. Yesterday we clicked on the customized plugin, right? So instead of the customized plugins, we don't have this deploy to container plugin. So that's why we are trying to install it from the external, right? So just copy this command, copy this name of this plugin and paste here. Deploy to container, yes. Just click on this checkbox and click on the install, right? It will successfully install it. Back to the top page, or we can restart the Jenkins. Just click on the restart the Jenkins. Why we need this plugin, guys? To deploy our application on the Tomcat. So that's why we required here the deploy to container plugin, guys. Because our application is deployed on the one of the container. Container is one of the, we can say that the server, right? So on this server, our application is going to deployed. So that's why we required here this plugin. Whenever we try to deploy our application on the Kubernetes, also we require some of the different plugins. So every time we need to update, we need to like install the required plugin, and then we can restart our Jenkins server, guys. Yes, Venkatesh?
Sir, when we creating the VPC architecture, inside that public subnet, private subnet is there, na?
Yeah.
There.
See,
in that time, Jenkins is a private subnet or public subnet, it will come, sir?
No. So VPC is a virtual private cloud. Every time whenever we try to create EC2 virtual machine, VPC always supported for us, and with the help of public subnet. Sorry. Yes, Venkatesh? I think your voice is not audible. Can you just come again? VPC is a virtual private cloud, right? So VPC always support for with the help of private subnet for our EC2 virtual machine. Whenever you can try to, let me show you 1 second. Wait. Suppose whenever you try to install any new virtual machine, just click on launch instance, right? Here you can see the option below configuration, or Yes, here. Network, VPC is available, and this is our public subnet. And public subnet is always supported for our any virtual machine, right? So this is our public subnet, guys. If you want to private network, then you can create, virtual private cloud. So at that moment, you can go to the service and you can search the VPC and you can create the private subnet as well. But right now, every virtual machine, our network comes from the virtual private cloud, and which is the public subnet. Anyone can access this subnet, guys. See, no preference. It means default is according to the availability zone. Here already mentioned, no preference, default subnet in any availability zone. The default subnet is a public only. Venkatesh, are you clear about this point? Yes, no? I guess it will take some time, guys. Let me copy once again Jenkins public IP. Copy this public IP. You can close this window and paste here :8080. Click on enter. Right? Add username and password. Right. So our deploy to container plugin is installed on this Jenkins, guys. Now, wait. Now, what is the next step, guys? Tomcat server is up and running. Then install deploy to container plugin in the Jenkins, right? For that, how we can go to the plugin, guys? Go to the Jenkins dashboard, manage Jenkins. Jenkins dashboard is here. Manage Jenkins is available in the settings tab. Go there, click on plugins, and accordingly you can go to the available plugins, right? And there you can search deploy to container only. Accordingly you can try to install it and just click on the restart, right? Then third step is create Jenkins job, and this is very, very important, guys. Okay, because we are trying to integrate our GitHub application to the Jenkins server, right? We already have the Jenkins server, we already have the GitHub repository, right? So this is our third step. So what we are trying to do it here, guys, we are trying to integrate our GitHub to the Jenkins. So create Jenkins job first of all. For that, we require to click on the new item. Where is the new item? Go to the Jenkins. Yes, here mention the new item. Just click on the new item, right? So enter the item name, job name. What application we are trying to deploy, guys? Which is the Maven application. So we can write here the Maven app, right? Then select freestyle project and click OK. Select freestyle project. Where is the freestyle? Yes, this is our first one, freestyle. Just click on this freestyle project and click on the OK, right? Okay. Now we need to add the configuration here. What is the next step, guys? Enter some description. We can enter the description here. This is Maven web application, right? Sorry, guys. Maven web application. Later, next step is go to the source code management and tab and select Git. Go to the source code management. General is there. Just go to the source code management. There is one tab, none and Git. Click on Git. Okay. And here you can integrate our GitHub repository URL. Once you integrate our GitHub repository URL into the Jenkins, then automatically our CI will integrate it here. It means continuous integration will happen once you enter this GitHub repository into the Jenkins server. So go there, copy this URL, go to the GitHub repository. This is our Maven web application. Copy this HTTPS URL and go to the Jenkins, and you can paste here. Are you guys clear about this one? Everyone? Yeah, okay. This is our first step, and this is our integration part, guys. Right? Credentials, our repository is a public, right? our repository is a public, so there is nothing to do add any kind of credentials, guys, because our repository is public. If your repository is private, then we need to add here the credentials, right? You can also access this same URL without any kind of credentials, because my repository is a public, so you can access any application from here, guys, right? Later, go to the checkbox. Here we have the enter project git repo URL. Next step, right? First of all, go to the source code management, then just click on this git tab, then enter the project GitHub repository URL. We already entered here, right? Then go to the build tab. Next one is a build tab. Where is the build tab, guys? See, build steps is available. You can go there. Then click on the add build step and select invoke top level Maven target, right? First of all, let me check the Maven is available here or not. Let me check mvn -version, because Maven should be available in your Windows operating system, right? Maven is available 3.9.9, right? Because we are trying to build our application with the help of Maven. We have the option as well for the Gradle, but you can try to install, try to build our application with the help of Maven, guys, right? So Maven should be installed in your Windows operating system. Otherwise, you cannot build our application on the Jenkins as well, right? So what is the next step? Go to the build tab, click on add build step and select invoke top level Maven target. Click on add build step. This is our add build step. You can select here invoke top level Maven target. Yeah, right? You can click here. Later, select Maven and enter clean package. Right? Let me check. Cannot able to select here. Okay. Let me save it and let me check Maven is installed on this Jenkins or not. Just give me a second, guys. System tools. Yes, go to the tools. Yes, here we need to add first of all Maven, guys. Just click on add Maven, and whatever we have in the Windows operating system, copy this Apache Maven 3.9.9 and you can add here. Okay. Similarly, install automatically. Just add the same version 3.9.9 from this drop down 3.9.9, right? Then apply, just click on save, right? Then again go back to our application, guys. Where is this? Yes, Maven web application. Yeah, go to the Maven app and click on the configuration, right? Where we have build steps. Now, see, Maven version is available here automatically. Automatically, Jenkins will try to install it. Only thing is that we need to add the Apache Maven 3.9.9 in our toolbox, right? Then Jenkins will automatically install this Maven, and in the configuration as well, we can able to see this Maven version. So from here, we can add the Apache Maven 3.9.9, right? And goal. Now, what is the goal, guys? I want to build my application, right? For that, we have the goal is clean package, right? We can copy this and paste here. Clean package, it means our GitHub repository code is going to enter into the Jenkins, and Jenkins will automatically build our application with the help of this command. Clean package. Then you will get our application var file automatically, right? If you want to get the var file, then we need to add the Maven command. The command name is a clean package. We have the clean install as well, but you can prefer this clean package command, right? Then what next? Click on post build action and select deploy, right? So guys, from here, we can easily integrate our application inside of the Jenkins, and you will get the var file according to this clean package command, right? Now you will get the var file. This var file I want to deploy on the Tomcat server. For that, we required here some additional configuration. So what are those configuration, guys? Post build action. This is one. A configuration is there. Just click on this post build action, because now this time I want to deploy my var file into my Tomcat server, right? So post build actions and select deploy var ER to container, right? So Go there, add post bill. Yes, add post bill action, and you can select here deploy var AR to container. Just select this one, right? Here you can add your var file name. If you don't want, if you don't have any idea about our var file name, then there is one shortcut. You can copy this thing. It means /star/star.var, and you can add there. It means Jenkins can easily understood. So whatever we have the .var, this var I want to deploy on the Tomcat server, right? So that's why we are only just added there /star/star.var, right? Then context path, you can give any context path like Maven application, Maven web application, any name, right? If you have the Java application, then you can add the Java web app. If you have the Maven application, then you can add the Maven app, right? Then right now, next one is enter context path. We had entered already. Just click on add container. Now I want to add the container name. The container name is our Tomcat because I want to deploy my application on the Tomcat server. So that's why click on this add container. So where is our server, guys? Tomcat. So Tomcat 9.x, which is the remote that we are going to use here, right? So add the credentials. We already added the credentials, right? Are you remember about these credentials, guys? Admin and admin. Those are the credentials, right? So you can add the credentials from here. Just click on the add, click on Jenkins, right? And you can add the username as admin. Then you can add the password as also admin, right? Click on add. Okay. And from here, you can select these credentials. Now, where we can deploy our application, guys? On this Tomcat server, we want to deploy my application, right? So you can copy this public IP for this Tomcat. So go there, you can copy this IP address because I want to deploy my application on this Tomcat server. Go to the Maven and paste here. Are you guys clear about this point? Everyone? Yes or no? Any doubts, guys, till here? Okay. Now, what next? Add Tomcat server credentials. We already added there. Password also added. Enter the Tomcat server URL. Right? Here you can add the URL. Right? And then just click on apply and save. This is our last step. Right? Click on apply. Click on save. Right? Our configuration is done from our end. Let me add one more plugin. Just give me a second, guys. Yes, you can easily understood how our application is going to deploy. View. Pipeline stage view. Yes. Okay. Now, let me copy this Maven app and now you can click on the build now. Before that, you can see in the web apps, we don't have any Maven web application, right? Because I already told you whenever our application is going to build by the Jenkins and this var file is enter into the Tomcat server, right? Our context path is Maven web app. So you can check on this Tomcat web apps folder. In this path list, you will see, you can able to see the Maven web app later, right? Let me check Maven web is going to fail. Okay. Let me check what exactly the issue is happening. Recommended Git tool is null. No credential specified. Cloning is remote Git repository. Couldn't find any revision to verify repository and branch. Okay. We are missing here the branch name, guys. Okay. So again, go to the Maven web app, go to the configuration, right? Here we can add the branch name, right? Let me check my branch name. My branch name is a main and the default branch in the Jenkins is a master. So you can remove this master and add the main. Apply, save. Again, you can click on the build now. The second build is going to happen here. It's running right now. Let me check if you can check the console output as well. Yes, I guess it should be successfully done. Started by me, right? Building workspace, right? GitHub already, I mean, our branch is a checkout here. I mean, whenever you're trying to add something in GitHub repository, this branch is already we integrated in the Jenkins server, and this connection is a successfully happen here, right? Then we already added there the branch name. Then the application is going to, application is try to install some Maven repository from the server, right? Downloaded it happening. See, download in progress, downloading from the central repository, right? Whatever the application is required, whatever is required for build our application, those repositories or those dependencies, this Jenkins is going to try to download from the server, right? It means central repository. Downloaded in progress, downloaded. Yes, now build is succeeded, right? Finish with success. Now you can go to the Tomcat, right? Because our integration is a success. GitHub repository is a successfully integrated with our Jenkins server, and it will get the var file as well. You can check here. You will get the name of this var file. Yes, see guys, building var file, right? Var lib Jenkins workspace Maven web app target. Inside of the target, the Jenkins will get the Maven web app dot var, right? So this var file is present in this Jenkins, guys, right? In Jenkins server, our var file is present here, right? And now this time Jenkins, we already give the command for the container as well. Now this var file is going to deploy on this Tomcat server, right? For that we already added Tomcat credentials, containers, then deploy to container, plugin already be installed, right? Now let me check on the Tomcat server. Here in the path section, you can check. Once I refresh this Tomcat server, here you can check our Maven web application is available here. Let me refresh it. Right. See guys, Maven web app is available. Whenever you just click on this Maven web app, you will get, you can easily access our application, guys. Right. Welcome to the IT world. Welcome to the Inferno. You can check this website and you can easily access our application because this is our deployment part, guys. You can try to access it from your browser and you can easily get this message, right? And this is nothing but our CD part. It means continuous delivery and deployment. I'll show you how it is continuously integrated and delivery as well. First of all, you can check with your browser this IP address is accessible for you or not. Everyone just check, guys. Okay, that's fine. So everyone can check this. Now, what is this continuous integration and continuous delivery? Suppose here is my developer. Okay, developer is trying to push the code from the backend, and suppose is trying to push the code every time, right? So I don't have this local repository. I'm trying to add it into the GitHub repository directly. Let me go to the GitHub repository. Let me go to this index.jsp. Here we have this message. This message is going to reflected on this server, guys. And let me edit something like address or name of this institute or any we can change, or otherwise someone needs to add here like contact number as well, right? Suppose I'm going to add this contact number, then I'm going to add this street name is like Osho Road, right? Osho Road, Pune, right? So developer is trying to push this code to the GitHub repository, and our code is present to the GitHub repository, right? I'm doing some bypass, right? Okay. So you can try to do it from your local repository, and you can push this code, right? Let me commit this message. I have added straight details. Click on this commit changes. Right, so our changes is reflected here, right? Our changes is already pushed into the GitHub repository. Now let me run this Jenkins job once again. Go to the Maven web app, click on this build now. So what we expected from here, guys, we can expect whatever we change in the GitHub repository, that changes also reflected on the server, because our build is happening. Oh, sorry guys. Why this not working? Yes, right. Our build is happening. Whatever you change into this GitHub repository, developer is going to push the updated code. This code is entered into the GitHub repository. Jenkins server will try to pull the latest code, right? And after that, this code is going to, convert into the var file, and this var file should go into the Tomcat server. Now, let me go to the Tomcat server and just click on refresh, right? So our changes is reflected successfully on our server. You can also try to refresh this URL, and you can easily get the updated code, guys. This is nothing but our deployment part of our application. Everyone, are you understood? If you have any doubt, then you can raise your hand. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and tell me.
So I missed in the beginning, so I will check the videos and.
Yeah, sure. You can check it out. And already inside of the Word file, we already added everything, so you can follow those steps and you can easily access. You can easily create those infrastructure part. Okay, so if you have any doubt, then you can update on this our workshop group. So I'll try to resolve it. Okay, guys. So today's session is only on this deployment part of our application, guys. We successfully deploy our application from GitHub repository to Jenkins to the Tomcat server. Okay, so if you have any doubt, then you can update on our WhatsApp group. You will get the answers, you will get the solutions, and already you have the notes. You can try it out. I'll share you one video. Accordingly, you can create one cloud account, and you can try to create one infrastructure pod for it. Yes. And next Saturday we can try it for this Kubernetes, right? We can try it, create one Kubernetes infrastructure, and accordingly we can try to like deploy our application from GitHub to Jenkins to Kubernetes. Later we can deploy it, we can access it from the Tomcat server according to the load balancer DNS IP. Okay. Any doubts, guys?
Yeah, Gaurav, can you please summarize what we have discussed yesterday and today?
Yeah, sure.
Steps.
Yeah, sure. So guys, yesterday we started discussion related to the deployment part. I'll show you here. So basically what is the deployment, guys? So whatever developer is write the code, this code is going to reflect it on the server, right? Suppose we have the Amazon application, right? Amazon application have some tabs. If you want to like log in with the Amazon application, there we have one Windows is opening. At this moment, we need to add some, configuration, or we can add some details there, username, password, and phone number, right? Suppose Amazon client is want to add there the user, email address as well, right? At this moment, developer is going to modify the code and push this code to the GitHub repository, right? Accordingly, those changes should reflect on this Amazon application, right? So like that of application we are trying to create here. Our GitHub repositories are already available. This is our Maven web application, right? So here is our building tool. I want to build my application, but it should automatic build, right? So I didn't deploy build my application manually, guys. It is automatically it is automatically happening by using this Jenkins server. right? Jenkins have the configuration. Jenkins have the GitHub repository. Later, Jenkins have the Maven also, right? Because we already added the Maven inside of the Jenkins server. So Jenkins will try to build application by using the Maven, right? By using the clean package command, and accordingly Jenkins will get the var file. Now I want to deploy this application on the Tomcat server. For that, I am added in the Jenkins to container. I added this Tomcat server IP inside of the container. Later we added the Tomcat credentials as well, and accordingly our Jenkins is also connected to our Tomcat server, right? So whatever we try to push the code, this code is integrated into the Jenkins. Later Jenkins will build the application and he will get the var file, and this var file is going to enter into the Tomcat server, right? And Tomcat server have some restriction, but we already like cross this restriction with the help of some commands. I already added this the Tomcat Word file. Accordingly you can follow those steps and you can easily access the manager application, because inside of the manager application we have the web apps folder, and web apps folder is used for the deployment our application. Whatever we are trying to deploy any application, this application is going to enter into the web apps folder only, right? So if you want to access this web apps folder, for that we require here some commands, right? For that we require here some commands. Let me show you. Yes, commands, it means we need to change something, we need to add something in our path, like metadata context path. Here we can remove this specific public IP and you can allow for this all public IP, right? Then later you need to add the Tomcat user XML, because my credentials should access for every manager GUI. Manager GUI, it means graphical user interface, their manager script and admin GUI as well, right? So for that we require to add here some credentials. Later you can easily access our Tomcat server, right? So Tomcat is nothing but one of the web server, guys. Any Java web application, Maven web application, we can deploy it on the Tomcat server, right? And the Jenkins is help us for this build our application, right? Automatic build our application. It means this is our open source software and which is developed by using the Java language, right? This is called as a CI/CD, right? It means continuous integration, continuous delivery, right? Then there have some steps are available for this build and deployment, guys. For that we need to take the latest code. We need to build our source code by using the Maven or Gradle. Then we can perform the code review. We cannot perform right now. We haven't added this Sonar Cube for this our application, guys. Sonar is used for this code review and code quality checking tool. Okay, so in the later session we can also try to check the code quality, because Sonar Cube is also one of the major tool which is used by many organizations for code quality and code coverage, right? Later we can deploy, upload this application on the Nexus. Nexus is our remote repository, right? On it, every organization have own repository that is called as a Nexus, right? Instead of the Nexus, they have the own repository. It means TCS repository. It means Capgemini repository is available on this Nexus server, guys. Later we can deploy this code into the server, guys, right? So here we added the Jenkins setup. You can follow those steps, update the system. You can take the Ubuntu virtual machine for it, right? And for the Tomcat, you can use the Linux virtual machine, guys. Okay. So accordingly, those steps you can follow. If you want to, if you added the JDK as a 17, then you can use this repository. You can copy this repository and add to the virtual machine. So what are the tools we required here, guys? We required here the MobileXterm. We required here the GitHub repository. We required here the AWS Cloud, right? If you have the AWS Cloud account, then good. Otherwise, you can create the AWS Cloud account, right? Accordingly, you can follow those steps, right? You have the public IP, and we covered only one service that is called as a EC2, right? You can search the EC2 on the AWS Cloud. Let me show you. Yes, here you can go to the AWS, right? And whenever you can enter into the AWS credentials, you can access this window, and here you can search the EC2, right? This is called as a Elastic Compute Cloud, right? Elastic Compute Cloud is most demanded service in the world, right? Because most of the most of the services are deployed on the virtual machine. So if you want the virtual machine, then you need to search here the EC2. You can use the EC2 service, right? According to that, you can create the virtual machine, and you can access this virtual machine by the by using the mobile extreme, and later you can deploy. Later you can install the Jenkins on it. You can give the new EC2 virtual machine, and on it you can install the Tomcat server as well. Okay, so I guess you can check the notes. You can there we already added some steps, so detailed steps are available. Okay, you can follow blindly those steps, and you can easily access, you can easily like create the infrastructure, guys. I hope everyone can understood. If you have any doubt, then you can ping me on the WhatsApp group, so we'll try to resolve it by the next session as well. So you needed their AWS cloud account. This is very important, so you can create the AWS cloud account. I'll share the link. Accordingly, you can create the AWS cloud account, guys.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
Okay, so for Marvin, so you have stored that data in the GitHub, right?
Right.
Okay, so everything's the code and the installation file. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so for Jenkins and Tomcat, okay, you have created different servers in
Right.
AWS. Okay.
Right. For the Jenkins, we had created the one virtual machine. On this virtual machine, we installed the Jenkins software, and we had created one more virtual machine. And on this virtual machine, we had installed the Tomcat server, right? And this is our GitHub repository. You can follow this repository, and you can try to deploy our application, guys. And this is our deployment process. If you have any question on this interviewer is going to ask one question: how we can deploy our application, or have you worked on the deployment part of the application or not? So if you are try to install this application or try to deploy this application on the server, then you will get the confidence. You can easily answer on this question, guys. Yes, I worked on this deployment part of the application. I done with one POC, and this is our process. And this is the simple process, guys, because we have the lots of services will invoke here in the deployment. We have the ECS, we have the EKS. Okay, so in the next weekend we will try to do it with the Kubernetes. Later we can try to do it with the Docker as well. Okay. Yes, Ravaz, any doubts?
Yeah. Okay. So GitHub is clear. Jenkins is clear, and Tomcat. Okay. So how you have created a connection between Jenkins and Tomcat server? So both are in different EC.
Yes. In this configuration file, if you go to the configuration general tab, there is one description, source code. There we have the GitHub to the Jenkins connection, right?
Okay.
Yeah, this is clear for you. We have created this connection with the GitHub to the Jenkins, right? This is the Jenkins window, and we click on this Git, and we added the GitHub repository here, and we check out the branch name as a main, right? Later, you can go to the builds tab. Here, Maven is invoked here. This Maven will help us to build our application, and you will get the WAR file, right? With the help of this clean package. Clear?
Clear. Yes.
Later, we just go to the post build action, and there you will have the Tomcat, right?
Okay.
Here we have added the Tomcat credentials. Here we have added the Tomcat URL. This URL and this URL should be the same, right? We added the Tomcat, and this is the integration between the Jenkins and Tomcat.
Okay. So in one single configuration, so you have
Yeah. This is the one-time activity only. Okay. So infrastructure will give you this Jenkins, and they already have the configuration. But whenever you will get the failed job, then you need to go to the console output, and you can check what exactly missing here. And this is our developer duty. Developer should know everything about it, right? Developer should know how our application is going to integrate it, right? And this question is going to ask by every interviewer. How we can integrate our Jenkins to the GitHub and Jenkins to the Tomcat. So you can like tell them like we have the configuration file and we have some different tabs are available. General, source code. Inside of the source code, we can add the GitHub repository. We can check out our branch, whatever we have available in the GitHub central repository. And this is our integration part of our GitHub to the Jenkins. Now, if you want to build our application, then we can add the build step. There we have the invoke top level Maven target, and there we can add the Maven version, and goal is a clean package. This goal will help us to convert our application, Java application, to the jar file or var file, right, with the help of this command. And later we can get this var file by using the deploy to container. Now I want to deploy my application, right, to the container. Container is server, right? For that we require to install one plugin, which is nothing but the deploy var er to container. Now we can add the var file name here. We can add the context path. This is the optional, okay? And this var file I want to deploy on this Tomcat server. For that, I'm going to add here the containers, right? So you can add the containers credentials. You can add the Tomcat URL. Container URL. This is our basic step. And accordingly, we can deploy our application successfully on the Tomcat. On this Tomcat, we have the manager app folder. Inside of it, we have the web apps folder. And in the web app folder, we have the, we have our application, right? And once you deploy our application, you will get the code. Whatever you are added in our backend code, those code is going to reflected on this server. So you get, this is our links, right? So you can click on this link, so you will get the Inferno website on the Google, right? And this is the magical part, how our application is going to deploy, right? Are you guys clear about this point, everyone? Any doubts, you can feel free to raise your hand, otherwise you can unmute yourself. Okay, so I guess I hope everyone is added in our WhatsApp workshop group, so you will get the next instruction for the next session. So next week we have the different deployment demo, so you will get the updated link as well, or updated content, what we have the plan for this next week. Accordingly, you can try for this Jenkins and Tomcat. If you have any questions, so in the weekdays you can ask the question on the WhatsApp group, so I'll reach out to you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for the join. Yep. We can conclude today's session, guys. Thank you so much and thanks for the join. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Yep. Bye.